All right, everyone, that was a short break, but we are all ready to go with our very next run of Satisfactory, so take it away, Epiphany.
Hello, everybody. Hope you're all having a great Sunday morning. My name's Epiphany. I'm going to be playing Satisfactory for you. For anyone who hasn't heard about it, Satisfactory is like if you took Factorio and then put it in a big 3D real world. So I'm going to be doing the package percent category today, which is a glorified tutorial. You go through learning how to create a factory, do some basic production, and then we're going to be setting the first major milestone of the game called the Space Elevator. So without further ado, I'm going to be starting in the Rocky Desert. You get 4 different biomes to go. Give myself a save name, and I believe there's nothing in my way, so we're going to hit the road. Time starts when I hit start game. And go. Normally when we do package percent, we don't really watch this intro. We can actually skip it, but you know, for a little bit of added flair, we're going to learn, you know, what the whole point of this is.
Delivered to Calistian region.
We have a little bit of an info dump here, so I'm not going to speak a little bit. I'm going to let Ada, our automated AI assistant, teach us what, you know, we're trying to do here. So let's watch the stream for class.
Welcome to the Fixit Incorporated Save the Day program. A Fixit Pioneer has 3 core assignments. Construct. All pioneers must follow Fixit guidelines and instructions when constructing any building. Automate. Every pioneer is responsible for setting
So yeah, this is breaking down the basic premise of the game, right? Just like any other factory or automation game, you want to collect resources, set up a bunch of buildings to do that for you. You really want to end up with a giant sprawling factory that does a billion things, factors in a bunch of math. Okay, that's probably fine. Don't worry about it. So we're pretty soon going to head down to the planet here and get started. One thing that's going to be pretty fun about it is, so even though this is a tutorial and it's all about setting up a factory and building automation stuff, we're not actually going to build as much factories as you'd expect. I'll get into a little bit, but as soon as we land here on the planet, safely probably, things should be fine. A nice little fire.
Descent phase begun. Decelerating. Deploying parachute.
Okay, nice. We got our parachute going.
Deploying backup parachute.
Okay, nice. We got our backup parachute going. We didn't need it anyway.
Landing phase begun. Activating retro propulsion.
Ah, look at that beautiful world. Doke, setting back down, and soon I will be able to actually move.
Touchdown.
Now I can move my camera around here, but we're obviously locked in for our own safety, as we can see.
Omni-situational exploration suit nominal. Pioneer. Acceptable.
I've always wanted to be acceptable. What a wonderful thing to be. And here we are, the beautiful planet of Massage 2 ABB. Grab our little fix-it build gun. Admire it. We've never seen it before.
Congratulations. You are the 3rd in your region.
And it's time to go.
Welcome to Massage 2 AB.
Appreciate what Ada has to say, but we're going to be skipping this as much as possible.
First,
here we go. Equip this. Grab this. First dismantle of game.
Dismantle
the next thing that we need to do is, this is still part of the basic onboarding flow, is we need to get a little bit of iron, and as soon as we hit 20 we can build the hub. I'm going to build it here because it unlocks the hotbar, and from there we're actually going to stop building things. Instead, we're going to go to these crash sites. There's a bunch all over the world. These are certainly not remains of other people who have tried to play Satisfactory. We're going to pick those up. We're picking up basically a bunch of the items here. Rather than produce them, it turns out to be a lot more efficient to go to some of these less successful test flights and collect what they made for us. So we're going to go to this next one over here. Dismantle the pod itself. So this central piece, the crash pod itself, has this item called a hard drive in it, which for other longer routes is it's much more useful. Okay, so I'm going to do a bunch of respawning here. I want to get a specific spawn point. Sometimes it takes 1 try. Okay, sometimes it takes 5. I'm going to also be using one other feature here called nudging, which was not intended for putting things in the middle of the air, but basically, when you're making a factory, you can use this feature to... Oop, we don't want to open that one. You can use nudging to move buildings a little bit sideways, a little bit up, a little bit down. But we're going to be using it for some non-traditional purposes in a moment here. But yeah, to finish the other thought here, so we are collecting all of the basic materials in the game. We're going to do a little knee break over here, but it's fine because you always respawn at your hub. So this is a technique that we in the community call hub jumping, where you basically put the hub where you need to be. There's a game setting for whether or not you keep your inventory on death, and obviously we choose to keep it. And so we're going to use this hub to kind of teleport into some places in a little bit less time, or perhaps where they shouldn't be accessible. For example, here. So I want to get something called Blade Runners. Oop, that's a little bit misaligned. I want to get something called Blade Runners, and they're going to make me run about twice as fast. So if I tap that forward 35 times, if I'm right, yes, I will be on a platform. Dismantle this and grab my pants. Yay! You saw right there, there's a lizard doggo hanging out there. I know we hit the incentive, so we will be getting one of those as a little buddy later on in the run. I'm gonna have him hang out with me for the final factory portion of the game, though, because one of the best things about lizard dogs is that they're cute. One of the worst things is that they're extremely slow, and the last thing I would want is to make a friend and then abandon him. So we're gonna actually not pick him up until we're oh, drop that. There we go, perfect. Okay, so what I did there was picked up this item called a heavy modular frame. It's a very, very late game item, and the reason that I'll be needing it is actually not for production at all. Instead, I'm going to be unlocking something called the awesome sink, which is effectively the if you produce too much stuff, put it in the awesome sink and make a little bit of money. I'm going to be taking advantage of that flow to avoid crafting some items at the end, because the space elevator is the only expensive item in this game, and it's very expensive. Oop, waterlogged a little bit here, not a problem. We're gonna head out here and continue the collection process. So for now, we can maybe get a couple donations while I collect a few more items and fulfill the first tutorial missions of the game.
All right, well, it looks like Nest was true to their word and donated $25 and says, I boosted. Thank you for having me. Let's raise some money for a good cause.
Completed. Equipment like the portable miner can now be made in the workshop.
And just to remind folks about our next milestone incentive, if we raise $1,250, we are going to see those bonus races. We have just under $200 to go to get there.
Complete hub upgrade 2.
Okay, a little bit of jump optimization there. Oop, don't want to respawn without the hub. So my current goal here is I've got one more milestone called a hub upgrade, and those are effectively the tutorial. Once I get enough wire to do that, my next milestone will be the first actual unlock of the game called part assembly. What part assembly lets you do is it lets you craft more complex items. Specifically, the one that I want is called the smart plating, which is the actual item that you need to progress and finish this run. So I'm going to plug in this part. There we go. We finished the tutorial, and then the last thing I need to do is get a few more iron rods, which will allow me to upgrade that part assembly unlock. From there, we actually have an interesting sort of timing problem. After each real milestone of the game, I also want to acknowledge that Ada just said I achieved the minimum capable skill level, so thank goodness for that. But once I get that, I'll have to actually wait 6 minutes before I can submit anything else, which means that my goal here is to get this as soon as possible, and I'm 3 iron rods short. Let's get one more dismantle. Okay, there we go. I've had a couple runs die there where I'm just too short. Not a good time. Okay, so now you'll see in the top right, we have potable return in 6 minutes. That means we're obviously still going to do stuff, but the run cannot end for the next 6 minutes. That's kind of like our, it's the closest thing we have in Satisfactory to a bus rule. Let's see, so I'm going to grab, you can see another doggo here. There is a category called doggo percent, which is just taming one of those. I would normally grab one of those in there if I was going to do it, but like I said, I don't want to leave them behind, and I'm still going to be moving fast for the next minute or two. Let's see. So I got 3 more things to pick up here. What else have I not talked about? Let's get this in my inventory so I can just hold on to it.
If consumed before authorized is
And yeah, the next thing that I want to do is just prepare for Resource Sync bonus program and get those 50 smart platings that I need. At that point, it will be... That'll be kind of our only actual factory building game in this category. It's, at this point, become more of a run and loot kind of run. Let's see, so grab all this stuff. I mostly just need to get a bunch of wire, so make sure I didn't miss it here. Let's head on back to our hub. The main thing that I'm looking for is 500 wire right there. Got 145, and then the next 2 places I intend to go should get me the rest. Pick up all this. This is so much easier than actually, you know, making a factory. Why would I bother with that? Let's see. So Satisfactory is currently on their 1.1 patch. The first, or they came out of early access in 2024, and all of this crash site dismantling stuff has only been around for, I want to say, a month and a half maybe, which, as you can tell, has changed the run immensely because suddenly we're getting all the basic parts that we need from running around in the game. So before a month and a half ago, things were very different, which is why this is a hotly developing run category. Let's see, toss that in there. And this is going to be the last crash site that we go to. Let's try that one more time. Okay. So we're going to dismantle this last one, and then we're going to actually do what Ada has been asking us to do this entire time. Make sure I grab these 4, especially the wire. And let's toss those out. Okay. So now we head back home. Not there, though. Not here. There we go. Okay. Now it's time to actually build a factory. So the main thing that I'm going to be doing here is making smart plating. This is the item that you need to do to finish the game. I'm going to plop 4 of these down to start. Now we need to make also some fuel. And before that, oh, that's right, incentive. So let's go find a friend. Stay in the air. If you run on the ground, he'll get scared, but let's just put a little barrel nut down there. Hey, buddy. Hello. Let's name you Quet. Okay, there we go. Okay. Now we can get back to our regularly scheduled factory building. What you do? That and that. Let's not actually. There we go. Okay. Now I'm basically just going to try to get a bunch of smart plating as soon as I can. Let's see. My favorite sound in the world. There we go. Okay, great. And then we're going to do a little bit more. We got 2 minutes, so let's craft as much as we can in those 2 minutes. Let's see. This is going to be just mostly factory building again, so if you want to read another donation or 2, now would be a great time.
Sure, I'd like to take another moment to remind folks that we do have our milestone incentive open for the races. Now, all donations will actually go towards that. You don't have to put an incentive towards your donation to get that met. Just any donation will help us get those bonus races for Sonic Future coming up later on. And of course, we do have our next run, that is LEGO Star Wars, so I hope you are all hyped for that. And then Super Mario Galaxy 2. And then we will have Sonic Riders Future. So you've got plenty of time to raise the $200. But of course, all of your donations will be going towards the training and raising costs for Quet. So definitely get your donations in to help out Trainer Nade with that.
Let's see here. So I'm going to set up my last couple of assemblers here, and then we've got about a minute left on the clock. I need to be able to unlock Resource Sync bonus program as soon as possible, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually leave this factory to sit here for a minute. I'm going to need a little bit more wire, and to get that, I'm going to be heading on to the east. Going to grab one more crash site, and hopefully be back in time to get some unlocks. Once we do that, it's just going to be a matter of building the space elevator, which I can pull this up here. It's very big and it costs a lot of materials, especially that wire. We're not going to be able to find 1,500, so instead what I'm going to do is put that on the to-do list so I remember, and then we're going to go get the resource sync bonus program. So this is effectively Fixit's way of letting you turn unused or bonus resources into cool unlocks. So normally when you play, you would get things like different style foundations, things that you could customize. Okay, we're gonna want that, and this. All right, let's head back home. But we're not gonna be customizing anything because we don't care for that. Instead, we're gonna be buying parts. Let's see where we are on smart plating. I'm looking for 50. I've got 37. Get everything ready here, and we're gonna just stand here and count. Let's see, 40. Oh, that's my favorite sound again. Let's get this short up here. Shouldn't be much longer. Oh, cursor, there we go. Okay, dropped it in. Let's see. Okay. I do believe that we've probably crafted enough though, so let's grab everything, do a quick count before I say that for sure, and we need 3 more. Okay, so we're gonna grab this. I don't know why my little doggo friend didn't tell me that I didn't have enough. What are you even good for? Okay, let's do that, toss that in there. And then we're just gonna do this. This should take only 30 more seconds. Let's grab the hub again and get started on the resource sync in the meantime. So here's what we're gonna do. Set up a box, put in that computer and those heavy modular frames we just unlocked. And we're just gonna donate them. So let's see.
Your awesome input allows Fixit to comprehend our amazing universe more clearly. In appreciation of this,
probably want to have more than just wood there. Okay, great. So you see, there's a bunch of unlocks, and I'm just going to be doing basic resources, but you can get a bunch of customizations and stuff like that. Okay, let's take these coupons, buy this stuff, and let's put down our space elevator. Okay, we have 3 more smart plating. Let's put that in there, and time is going to be as soon as I hit send here. There's a bunch of little passive-aggressive things there. So Ada just hit interrupting message for higher priority message because I just keep ignoring the dialogue. Let's see, and there's time. So, oh, I accidentally skipped it, but at this point Ada would give about a 5-minute PowerPoint presentation on how Satisfactory actually works. This is effectively the tutorial of the game that has been done. Here's this beautiful space elevator. We've already sent our package up through it, even though it hasn't finished animating in. But that's gonna be it. So there is the end. Let's find our little buddy. Where did you go, doggo friend of mine? I know I did. I'm sure I didn't lose you. I've only walked like 15 feet. Oh no, we've lost our buddy. I'm sorry, Quet. That's the run though, and that's going to be it. Thank you all for watching.
Including kittens and puppies.
I'm going to go find my dog now.
Likely that you appreciate the continued existence of kittens and or puppies.
Well, GG on the run. I guess we might have to open up another incentive to find Quet again.
It is time to start the work on phase 2 of Project Assembly.
So yeah, while we're working on that, I guess we're going to take a short break while we transition over to the next run. Thank you very much, Epiphane, for that run of Satisfactory. And we will see you all soon as we get set up for our next run of LEGO Star Wars: The Complete Saga. One quick thing, I would like to remind folks again that our Sonic Riders future milestone incentive is still open. Any donation will go towards that milestone incentive. If you donate $5, that will go towards it. If you donate $200, that will go towards it, and we will actually meet the incentive too, so that would be great. But we appreciate all donations here. All of them go towards such an amazing cause.